If you're looking for a USB-C SSD enclosure for your M1 MacBooks, these two enclosures from Unitek are worth checking out. They are the Unitek SolidForce Reefer Eater and the Unitek SolidForce Reefer Pro. Now, I have both of these enclosures out of their box already and they look identical to each other, but they work very differently. And here's all you need to know about them and how well they perform. Now let's check out what's inside the box of these two enclosures, alright? So starting with the Reefer Pro here, which is actually the flagship model between these two, because this actually operates at USB 4 or Thunderbolt 4 speeds for up to 40 gigabits per second. So it's actually a pretty fast enclosure here, right? So out of the box here, you do of course get this plastic case that houses the manual, and you also get a really small screwdriver that's right inside here. There we have it. That's this little mini screwdriver, and I'm really happy to see that Unitek has included a heatsink for your SSD. Regardless of which SSD you use, they do provide a heatsink over here, so to dissipate heat better out of the chassis here, right? And there's also a spare screw if you happen to miss out one. Then when it comes to the Unitek SolidForce Reefer Eater, the package contents is more or less the same. So I'm just going to take out. So you do realize that the plastic case here is actually a little different. That one is a transparent one. This is a white color plastic case, all right? So you do get pretty much the same contents. You get the manuals, and you also get a screwdriver and a heatsink and screwdriver as well. Now these SSD enclosures do come with their respective cables as well. So the Reefer Pro will come with this short flex cable that operates at USB 4 speeds at 40 gigabits per second, whereas the Reefer Eater will come with this also short USB-A to C cable, but you do also get a C to C cable if you actually want to, which is actually more convenient in my opinion. So you can actually just connect to a USB-A port if you don't have a C port to use this enclosure. But this cable will only operate at a maximum 10 gigabits per second, which is according to the Reefer Eater specs. Now let's take a closer look at these enclosures. As you can see right over here, they are identical and there's almost no way to tell them apart because they even share the same dimensions here as well. Now these enclosures are actually pretty thick, but they are thick for a reason. Now this is the Reefer Eater, alright? So right over here you get the Unitek branding and you get the heatsink-like design on the top and the bottom, and you also get some cooling vents on each side of the enclosure here. Now there is a switch right over here that pops up the drawer that stores the SSD, so I'm going to pop it out right now. And there you go, easy peasy, it just comes out. Now I already have an XPG SSD right inside here, and this is actually pretty cool though, alright? So the entire PCB of the Reefer Eater is in black, which matches my SSD, and it looks really cool. So you do actually get a little bit of space right on the top here, and that's because this enclosure, including even the Reefer Pro, it is designed to fit SSDs with thicker heatsinks. Now we all know that some PCIe Gen 4 SSDs do come with thicker heatsinks, so you can actually install those kind of SSD into this enclosure without any issues at all, right? And once you're done with it, all you need to do is to simply pop back in. It goes in pretty simply, and you are pretty much done. One of the main reasons that these enclosures are well suited for M1 Macs is because they support the UASP transfer protocol. Otherwise, it is known as USB Attached SCSI, which is only supported by the USB-C ports of the Mac. So if you happen to connect some other USB SSD enclosures that doesn't support this protocol, you will only be limited to 5 gigabits per second of transfer speed. So these enclosures will have no problems when it comes to supporting an M1 Mac, and they can operate at their maximum speed. So to run this speed test, I have actually sourced a PCIe Gen 4 SSD from XPG, which is very kind of them to send this over. It is the XPG Gamix S70 blade. It is a terabyte model that has a read speed of up to 7.4 gigabytes per second and write speeds of up to 6.8 gigabytes per second, which is a really fast SSD. But just to let you guys know that the PCIe interface on these SSDs will only perform at PCIe Gen 3 X4 speeds, not PCIe Gen 4 unfortunately, so we will not be able to reach the maximum speed of this SSD right here. So now I'm going to connect these enclosures onto my Mac and to show you guys how well they perform. Now let's do a speed test on these enclosures using the very same SSD with Blackmagic Design speed test app on macOS. As you can see, these enclosures are performing very well according to their transfer rates. Though of course the Reefer Pro can't perform up to the S70 Gamix intended speeds due to its PCIe Gen 3 X4 interface. but it is still very impressive nonetheless. You do also realize that they have very consistent speeds when the task is looping over and over. That's all thanks to both the Reefer Eater and Reefer Pro's thoughtful design with a large interior space and side cooling vents that allow better heat dissipation than other regular external SSDs that don't usually have them. Also, the Reefer Eater supports M2 SATA drives if you want to use one. In terms of pricing, the SolidForce Reefer Eater will cost you $43 whereas the SolidForce Reefer Pro will cost you $160. Now, that's almost 4 times the price of the Reefer Eater, but you get 4 times faster the transfer speed, which I think is pretty worth it if you're doing a lot of creative work and you need a fast SSD to go with your M1 Macs, right? So these are definitely really good enclosures that I've been using them for a couple of days already, and I really recommend that you go check them out in the link down below. As for now, that's all for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos coming right up, and I'll see you guys in our next one.